There are a lot of discussions on this dimension of wellness in our daily lives. But how much and what we do about it is something on which we really need to deliberate. It is very critical and crucial for our existence and for our future generations as well. It is also vital for our mental health and wellness. Despite being aware of this, do we take it seriously? It is environmental wellness. Environmental wellness means a sense of safety, comfort, and connect with our physical surroundings. It is also the ability to appreciate the external cues and stimulus from the environment. It means that we need to be aware of and recognize the limits of our Earth's natural resources and ensure that we understand the effects of our daily habits on the world and environment around us. It also means that we need to live a life accountable to the environmental needs. The symbol for this wellness is a tree. It is like a Christmas tree. The tree is a general, easy to identify representative of the natural environment, that is, a natural realm. It is also the recognition of our interdependence with nature in terms of how much we take from the nature and the environment and what we give back to it. This dimension of wellness will provide insights on how to connect with nature, build environmental awareness, reduce waste, and save natural resources to live in a healthy and clean environment. To understand this dimension better, it is important to learn about its pillars and their corresponding aspects. The pillars are the base on which each dimension of wellness stands. Since all the 8 dimensions of wellness are interconnected with each other, their respective pillars and aspects are also interconnected and do not exist in isolation. To understand more on this dimension, it is essential to be aware of each pillar and its corresponding aspects. Once you are aware, accept them in the given situation and assess yourself on each pillar and its aspects. You decide if you're satisfied with the given situation or do you want to rise above that. Should you want to go beyond the existing situation, the next step would be to plan to go beyond. While making a plan, keep in mind that it should take you to the level you want to reach. Once you have made the plan, the next thing is to put the plan into action. Else, planning would be a futile exercise. The 3 pillars in this dimension will enable you implement your action plan. The first pillar is commitment. Commitment to what? Only if we know the what, that we can think of committing to action. The aspects will help elaborate on this pillar. The first aspect is very important and critical. It is awareness of our environment. We all know of environmental issues, environmental problems, pollution, various things happening, and others which are not happening also. And we all are affected negatively. The second aspect in this pillar is volunteer time for projects. Even if we cannot do something major at the very first instant, we can at least make an effort to take out some time to work for the development and the conservation of our environment. The third aspect of our commitment is feel strongly about doing my part. In this pillar of commitment, we need to ensure that we commit to do certain things and also not to do certain things which will help preserve and clean the environment. The second pillar is conservation. We had just talked about making a commitment to do certain things. This also refers to conservation. It deals with conserving the depleting natural resources, which is so important for us. This pillar has 4 aspects. The first one is energy, which relates to light, heat, etc. The next aspect is recycle, reduce, and reuse. It is very alarming to see the extent of material misuse, abuse, and waste which is happening in our environment. So, let us do something about it. The next aspect is fuel energy. And the last aspect under conservation is waste reduction. We cannot justify waste in any way, in any form. The moment we start tracking our activities diligently and assessing ourselves informally, we may be able to see a tremendous difference in the extent of the wastage we will be able to control. Remember, every drop makes an ocean. We also talked about not doing certain things to help clean the environment, and that leads us to the third and last pillar under this dimension, which is abstinence. Abstinence primarily revolves around reducing, avoiding, or controlling our actions in different ways, which will help maintain and sustain a clean environment. Extremely essential for existence of any kind of life. The 3 aspects will throw light on what this pillar means. The first aspect in this pillar is reduce plastic use. We should ensure that if we want to make a positive impact on the environment, we should abstain or refrain from certain activities, which is going to hinder that positive impact. The next aspect under abstinence is reduce emissions. Emissions could be of any kind. It could be vehicular emissions, could be industrial emissions, and at times even maybe when one smokes at home. All of them cause pollution. The last aspect under this pillar is do not litter. Just think about the areas we need to abstain from very strongly to enable keep our environment clean. It is important to take cognizance of all these pillars and their aspects, not only when we are in a problem or in trouble, but also need to consciously practice and implement them in all situations at any given point of time. If you want to increase your environmental wellness to ensure a clean environment for yourself and your future generations, it is extremely important to cultivate the mentioned aspects and practice them regularly and diligently. Not once in a week or a month, but each day, every day, always.